Now back to our show.
How do you think the legend got started?
I don't know.
Anybody know?
He started in Camelot and then he came over here. So that's how the book goes. Hi.
What do you think of Punsxsutawney, Phil?
I am all the way from Levittown, Pennsylvania. I think it's a great tradition. I'm glad.
6 more weeks of winter weather.
Punsxsutawney Groundhog Club.
Groundhog Day and the ceremony surrounding Punsxsutawney Phil is not just a local event. All of the world is interested in knowing the outcome. All of this commotion proves that people's interest in weather is not just limited to their daily forecasters. It's often the many stories that have been passed down through the years that catch the attention of weather buffs. As we've already learned, Groundhog Day started as folklore and mushroomed into an annual media event. But there are many other ways of forecasting the weather you can do right at home, such as with your cup of coffee. In the morning, when you pour your cup of coffee, check to see where the bubbles are. If the bubbles go to the center of the cup, that's usually a sign of high pressure, and that means fair weather. However, if the bubbles go to the outside edges of the cup, look out. That's usually a sign of low pressure, and frequently that means there's rain on the way. If you play an instrument, you might notice when you tune your guitar. Some days it may go out of tune a lot faster than others. That means there's a lot of moisture in the air, and this can be a problem. It also means rain could be on the way. Now, this does work indoors, but it works even better outdoors, where you have the full force of the elements. There's another way of foretelling the weather. Farmers swear by animals outdoors. Because they're so finely attuned to nature, because they're outdoors all the time, they can tell very, very slight changes in temperature and barometric pressure. And they say that when the cows lie down in the field, that means that there's rain on the way and low pressure. And when the cows are standing, it's a sign of fair weather, and fair weather that will continue. These tales, told many times over, have sparked the interest of weather buffs through the years, but none can compare to the story of the seer of seers, Punsxsutawney Phil.
Oh, hello there. This is a nice surprise. I wasn't expecting company. Well, since you're here, there's a little story I like to tell about this time every year about Punsxsutawney Phil. It goes something like this. In the heart of Pennsylvania, on a lonely little hill, lives a furry little groundhog called Punsxsutawney Phil. He was appointed by the citizens to the supervisor's job, the Punsxsutawney Weather Works, a hill called Gobbler's Knob. Each year at just this time, a shivering crowd treks up that knob. You'll know them by their tall silk hats. It's a local groundhog club. The founding of this group took place in 1887 by early German settlers, now long gone to groundhog heaven. Phil hibernates all winter, deep within a frozen ground. Then on February 2nd, members gather around. They come to see if winter sooner will end or else will stay. The groundhog can predict this. At least that's what they say. On the morning of the 2nd, he emerges from his lair to contemplate the weather, be it rain or snow or fair. If he's frightened by a shadow, the townsfolk all do warn. 6 more weeks of winter. And to his den he'll soon return. But if he doesn't see a shadow, from his den he now is freed. Down the hill to the festivities the townsfolk all proceed. There's a breakfast with the king and queen who were picked along the way, and many great festivities enjoyed throughout the day. Then much too soon, the sun begins to set behind the hill. So till next year, it's one more toast to Punsxsutawney Phil.
Here in downtown Punsxsutawney, the legend of the groundhog lives on. There are several shops just like this one that sell all kinds of groundhog items. Let's go inside and take a look. Such as groundhog mugs. We even have groundhog stuffed animals. And for your children, a groundhog puzzle. And if you're going to be sending gifts back home, how about a postcard for your friends and family with groundhogs on them? And in the back, we even have some napkins that you can have the next time you're having company with groundhogs on them. And of course, what would the day be without cooking with a groundhog? Here's a recipe of groundhog Punsxsutawney style. Cut, clean, dressed groundhog in serving pieces, then boil for 1 hour. Cover with fresh water, add salt and pepper, boil until tender, drain, and then brown in butter and shortening. And there you have it, groundhog Punsxsutawney style. And of course, there's more that can be learned about groundhog cooking by going to the bakery down the street. Here at the Punsxsutawney Bakery, they make groundhog cookies that taste just as good as they look. As a matter of fact, Punsxsutawney is so groundhog-minded, you might even expect to hear people singing groundhog songs in the park. Just listen.
On a wintry morn stood poor men forlorn, with no groundhog by their side. Through the sleet and snow, sun began to show. Punsxsutawney still hid inside. All the folks around in this famous town came to wait for Phil today. But up on the hill, everything was still, and Phil heard us softly say, heard us softly say, oh, won't you wait till the sun shines fairly and the clouds go drifting by. You'll see your shadow, Philly, and we'll cry. Up Gobbler's knob you'll scamper, 6 more weeks to stay. Still, Phil, we're glad we saw you Groundhog Day. That's a legend of Punsxsutawney, Punsxsutawney Phil.
The moment is quickly approaching for the ceremony of Punsxsutawney Phil on the flip side of these commercials.